Hello everyone, my name is Gracian, and this is my early access review for Forever Skies, a game developed and published by Far From Home. Forever Skies is a first-person post-apocalyptic survival game, and it plays quite similarly to Raft with some elements of Subnautica. At this time, the game is in early access and does not have multiplayer. Throughout this review, I will be giving an abridged version of my adventures with the game, and then talk about some of the things I really like about it, as well as a handful of things that I don't. I want to be upfront about a couple of things. First off, I had a fantastic time with this game and actually ended up putting more hours into it than I thought. And second, I did receive my copy of this game for free from the developer, though I was not paid in any other way in order to make this review. Throughout the game, you will be exploring different islands that you can fly to and collecting a variety of recipes, equipment, food, water, and other kinds of devices. There's a pretty good variety in the islands, though a lot of them are sort of rehashes of the same thing. They still have small differences to make them interesting. I also found myself finding a new recipe for something on every island, be it something story related or something just for fun, such as decorative items like wall lamps. You start the game off having crash landed in your pod on the Earth. You take a look around, collect some basic equipment, and have to force the door open to get a view of the outside world. Once out, you get your first good look at what has happened to the Earth, and it's quite breathtaking, actually. You head across this bridge and get a look at your different kinds of parameters, energy, health, food, and water, and come across a locked door. This is your first sort of small puzzle in the game where you need to find a terminal nearby and power it with a battery, though we don't know where that is yet. We find our first type of food, a sun melon, and we know it's safe to eat because it's next to this very healthy-looking gentleman. We pop open this device here, find a battery, install it, and get the door open so we can continue on. In the next area, we find some human remains and some very bizarre drawings. We eat some food, the sun melon, which immediately gives me a virus that makes it so that I cannot look at the sun without taking damage. That's going to be a problem. Collect some dirty water, some various types of equipment for my ship, such as this extractor, and get to work salvaging everything I can see. Try not to look at the sun. Next up, I find a research station. Pop it onto my ship, which is rapidly running out of space. Stick a battery in it, and get to work learning how to make some different kinds of things I'm going to need throughout the game. Here I have the water collector, which you install this interesting little membrane thing on. I actually like this device quite a bit. I also put a lure in this fishing device here, which is the worst machine on the planet. The sound that this thing makes is awful. Not this part. This part. That will continue until you collect your fish. This is me looking around wondering what the hell that is. I only fish a few times. I never go back to it because I don't like this machine. I install a water purifier so that I can turn dirty water into clean water, fabricate a hand scanner to start learning about the materials and things around me, and I start to learn additional recipes. This guy right here is dead. Synthesize some fuel for my ship, and take off for the first time into the wide, wide world of this post-apocalyptic Earth. We begin our adventure, sailing off into the distance towards the blinking lights, which signify an island that you haven't been to yet. As I approach, I can see a lot of lights blinking in the distance, indicating that there's a lot of other places to land. The landing site on this first island is lacking, but we finagle a way to land.
Uncharted area.
I step off onto my first area, watch my step, and begin to scan some new types of things. After collecting some resources, I set off for the next island. Fabricate some new types of equipment.
The immune system is compromised. Seek help.
And begin taking damage because my immunity is low. This has happened because my energy and my food are low, so my body isn't very healthy right now. I begin consuming food and giving myself additional viruses, but I'm eventually able to triage it with a variety of things like med kits, food, water, and eventually a bed. I now install the next most annoying device on the planet, which is this food boiler. For some reason, we boil everything on this planet. And it makes this kind of background noise all the time, and you can always hear it from anywhere on your ship. I do not like it. I try to find a space for my bed. It's getting pretty cozy in here. Sleeping is pretty standard, like in all crafty games. You lose most of your resources while you gain energy. Stop at a few more islands, collect some whoops. I then encounter my first storm, which is extremely terrifying, but if you go too low in altitude, you encounter the dust layer, which also damages your ship. You're really not safe anywhere during a storm. Fabricate my first turbine, which is going to let me go higher up in altitude. This will allow me to dock on some of the taller islands and find new types of research and resources.
Maximum flight altitude increased.
I fabricate a navigation system so I can see what islands I haven't gone to yet. And stop this terrible lure thing. Boil some more random stuff I found so it's safe, collect some clean water, and land on a new type of island. This one's really cool. It looks like it's made out of plants and fungus that have sort of formed platforms high up in the air. I find some bees, and after collecting some more sun melons, I desperately need this blue flower. I'm willing to get stung several times for this. I expand my balloon, which increases my lift so I can carry more junk on my ship. Bigger balloon is better. We head off to a new type of island. This is a greenhouse location. And it's a really cool looking spot. It's overgrown, it has tons of little buildings, lots of glass, vines are overgrowing everything, and I find a very important resource called polymer. I also find a variety of strange fruits and nuts and vegetables growing in different places. I head back to my ship and craft a knife and a crossbow, because why not, and begin to explore these new locations I couldn't get to before. Cut down this weird butthole nut thing, and I start to hear something growling at me. Something's upset with my existence, and I cannot figure out where it is. Oh, there it's yelling at me again. Sounds like a small dinosaur. What is that? Where is it? Ah, there it is. Some sort of giant bug or something? I'm just gonna shoot it. Okay, that seems to have done it. Let's take a look. Pop out the scanner, take a look at it, and it turns out that it's a big cricket. Fill up my inventory all the way, install my co-pilot, and head back to the greenhouse in the middle of a storm. This is quite terrifying, and like an idiot, I walk into this glass twice and give myself a bleeding infection, install my navigator, and head to a story island. This one has some really cool aesthetics. It's got these scraggly vines growing way up into the sky, taller than the skyscrapers. And the island I'm on is built out of storage crates stacked up impossibly high. This location has some sort of elevator that's going to take me down below the dust layer, further down than I've ever gone. I hit the button. My computer struggles a little bit with this transition. Probably it's unloading all of the overworld and loading a completely new location below. This is quite terrifying, I have to say, but at least this elevator will serve as my safe haven for the next little while.
Analysis completed. Detected new objects.
I'm now in the underdust, and as you can see, as soon as I leave this elevator, I begin running out of oxygen, and I have to return there every so often in order to keep my air levels high. I find new types of resources, new types of plants, all sorts of strange things, an alarming number of crossbow bolts, strange crystals, symbols, derelict machines, resources, ladders. This becomes quite the labyrinth. I encounter this delightful fellow here that I absolutely hate and is 100% nightmare fuel. Apparently it's some sort of hostile flower that won't kill me if I'm cold enough. Don't know how to solve that right now. Head back to my ship, deposit all this stuff I've been finding, and back down we go. Fabricate a hand extractor so I can get stuff in the field, which is, oh my god! I don't like it. I do not like it. Let's just get these crystals real quick and I'm gonna get out of here. Find some weird nuts growing from vines. There's a blue one and a red one. Let's chop that down and we'll just grab it before it hits the... I find a Dark Souls style ladder that will get me back faster. Head back to the ship and decorate it with a variety of posters. Yes, stop the war. Repair my ship because while I've been gone, the storm has been obliterating everything. Install some new upgrade equipment in my ship, which I'm quickly running out of space for. I do not currently have what I need to progress past those hostile carnivorous plants, so I'm back out into the wide world. I play for quite a while, and I'm able to build a second floor down below my main floor. I've got upgraded turbines and upgraded fishing lure, which I refuse to use. My downstairs is well organized. I have cool machines everywhere, upgrades, I've got storage all labeled. I even have a research assistant. I have refrigerators now to keep my food cool, and I'm feeling quite strong. I head back out into the world to continue researching things until I can find a way to get past those flowers. From what I've read, I've come close to the end of the early access period, though I was still finding blueprints for new types of things while I was out exploring and having a good time. I really was enjoying upgrading my base, and the visuals and sound of the game kept it interesting all throughout. The storms are terrifying, the clear skies are beautiful, but it was certainly kind of lonely, and I hope the developer is able to get multiplayer in sometime soon. With all that being said, I want to point out that this game has wonderful graphics, great atmosphere, great sound effects, apart from a couple of those machines, and a lot of promise for its core gameplay loop and your ability to upgrade and build your ship how you like. I think this game screams for multiplayer like Raft did. From what I've seen so far, this game could end up being amazing. It has great bones, and like I mentioned earlier, I played this game for a lot of hours just by myself. There's not even a multiplayer yet. There was something about the core loop of going to these islands and discovering new things that was extremely fun. So check out Forever Skies on Steam. It is in early access at the moment. If you enjoyed this review, please like and subscribe, and come on back to my channel. I do a lot of Let's Plays, but I also do a handful of reviews here and there. I want to thank everybody so much for watching this review. Again, check out Forever Skies, check out my channel, and I will see you in the next one.